Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Introduce my name is Damayanti. NIM 12010722988. I respect Ma'am Melanie Rizko as a lecturer English Kausar. I want to tell you about story problem in environment. Problem the environment is divided into four, namely 1. Global warming, 2. Pollution, 3. Growing population, 4. Endangered species. Definition: global warming. Global warming is a phenomenon of increasing the average temperature of the atmosphere, once and the length of the earth as a whole. Global warming can also be interpreted as an increase in the temperature on the earth as a whole, marked by melting polar ice and temperature in various places around the world tending to rise. When global warming occurs, the temperature on the earth feels hotter. Not only that, the weather conditions on earth have also become extreme and erratic. Famine. Conflict affects communities are more vulnerable to climate change induced disease and climate-induced crop or livestock failure can lead to social unrest. The war had a huge impact on the plains. Conflict kept drive them away. The make Arabs livestock prevent from getting stands and fertilizers or selling product restricting access to water. And further and dispersing cropping or harvesting cycles. Many conflicts occur in the rural areas inhabited by small farmers. The small-scale farmers are among the most vulnerable people on the planet. As a result, many people are starving. More desert. The next cause of global warming by human intervention is the lack of the reforestation activities or replanting forest areas that have been cut down or used as mining areas. Forests have an important function as a sink and trap carbon dioxide that can prevent it from being trapped in the atmosphere. In addition, the presence of dense forest areas also function as a regulator of the water cycle and reduce the risk of flooding or landslides. Many people cut down trees so no one absorbs water. The larger number of farmlands resulting from causes a lot of land to become theirs. Melting ice caps, rising sea level. Extreme climate change has caused eternal craters in the North Pole and ice breaks such as the Kilimanjaro and Jayawijaya to melt drastically. When the Earth's temperature rises and the ice melts, the volume of water increases, so the average sea level also increases. Global sea level have been recorded to have risen 20 centimeters in the last 100 years. But while polar ice caps are melting and sea levels are rising, part of sub-Sahara Africa are experiencing drought due to global warming. The increase in the earth temperature has also resulted in tropical storms and extreme Rate was the have result. In the deaths of hundreds of people in various parts of the world. Second, problems. Pollution. Pollution is the entering of contaminants into the natural environment that causes adverse change. Pollution can be in the form of the chemical or energy, such as noise, heat, or light. 1. Light pollution. Meat pollution, namely pollution that causes milk irritation to the five senses of the body and the beings to interfere with the other ecosystem components. An example of light pollution is exhaust from motor vehicles that cause a fine. 2. Of soil. When the impacts of the make or pollution soil is that it can interfere with human health. You can be affected by soil pollution by inhaling gas emitted from the soil that move upwards, or it can be through inhaling objects that are carried by the wind due to various human activity. 3. Water pollution. Water pollution can have a negative impact not only on humans but also on the environment. There are several impacts of water pollution, including disease, ecosystem damage, acidification, and degradation of the food chain. 4. Air pollution. Air pollution is a condition in which air quality is damaged and contaminated by sentient, both harmless and harmful to human health. In general, air pollution are in the form of toxic gases and solid particles. 8. Acid rain. The definition of acid rain is defined as various skin of rain with a pH below 5,6. Rain is natural acid or pH slightly below 6 because carbon dioxide or CO2 in the air that dissolves with rainwater has a form as a weak acid. B. Greenhouse effect. At the Earth's surface, radiation that has turned into heat is partly absorbed and partly reflected back into the atmosphere. The heat reflected by the Earth is trapped in the Earth's atmosphere by greenhouse gases that cause in the greenhouse effect. 5. By waste. Waste is the waste generated from a production process, both industrial and domestic activities of the household activities. Where there are people who live, that is the where various types of waste will be generated. There is water in the form of the garbage. There is toilet water and there is water from various other domestic activities.
Growing population. Population growth is influenced by births, deaths, immigration, and emigration. These four factors cause the number of individuals in the population to fluctuate. Population growth is characterized by a change in the number of population over time. 4. Endangered species. Rare species are organisms that are very difficult to find because of their small numbers. The term can be used for animals or plants which can be categorized as endangered or threatened species. Categorization of rare species can be done by an institution such as the government of a country or province.
1. Grow vegetables and fruit using natural fertilizer and pesticides. We can use natural fertilizer to grow vegetables and fruits. We can use compost and manure. 2. Walk and bike instead of using a car. Walking and cycling are eco-friendly mobility options. In fact, in addition to providing opportunities for exercise, these two activities are also able to improve the quality of the environment. The problem of air pollution is one example of today's environmental problems. The transportation sector is one of the causes of air pollution, especially in urban areas. The United Nations Environment Program writes that transportation is responsible for nearly a quarter of carbon dioxide emissions in global energy use. The Environment Agency said the overall demand for transport activities was growing rapidly. 3. To reduce the increasingly complicated problem of air pollution, walking and cycling can be the solution. Walking helps protect and improve the quality of the environment and natural resources, such as making the air cleaner and reducing traffic noise. In addition, walking is an example of an activity that is very efficient in the use of urban space and energy. 3. Reduce plastic packaging. It is undeniable plastic is a very useful thing throughout the course of human history. Have we ever thought, where do the plastic end up? This plastic wasted in products every day, some of which is simply thrown away, blown by the wind, or into a trash can to arrive at the TPA without proper processing. But it's never too late to make a change. The impact of pollution due to plastic and endanger health both for the environment and the human body. For example, microplastic contained in water will directly enter the fish organ and the fish will not survive long, and is consumed by humans. It can also be dangerous. However, there has been no study of the threshold for microplastic content that can harm the health of living things. If it can be limited and we can reduce plastic starting from the household trash waste management. Organic waste can be used as compost, while non-organic waste can be recycled into works of art that have economic value. 4. Good insulation. Isolation is one of several actions that can be taken to implement infection control, prevention of the spread of infection, diseases from one patient to another, health workers and visitors, or from outside to treat patient or reverse isolation. There are various forms of isolation, for example, by changing patient contact procedure or by keeping the patient away from everyone. Isolation is often applied to patients with known infection diseases. Special equipment is used to treat isolation patients, for example, personal protective equipment, technical control. 5. Low energy house. You must have heard the term passive house, which is a residence that carries the concept of energy saving and affordable costs. If interpreted, passive house is a house that utilizes energy from natural materials such as wind, sunlight, and others. In this modern area, passive houses are needed. In addition, the awareness of many people about healthy and environmentally friendly homes has finally encouraged this passive house to be housing developers in the world. The term passive housing can also be interpreted as use a set of building standards that can be applied to residential, commercial, and public buildings. Passive homes are designed with high level of isolation and earthing nets, resulting in homes that use up to 19% less energy than ordinary dwellings. 6. Save water. By conserving water, you can maintain a balanced amount of water between needs and production can remain balanced over time. If not, then there are many people who lack clean water because there are irresponsible persons who often use it carelessly. 7. Collect rainwater for watering. Rainwater contains nitrogen contained in urea fertilizer so that it can fertilize plants. Even by using rainwater for watering plants, you can save up to 20% of water, so that rainwater can be used at all times. Collect rainwater in a large enough container and you can use it when needed. 8. Reduce waste. Waste is waste generated from a production process, both industrial and domestic or household. Where people settle, there are the various types of waste will be generated. There is garbage, there is toilet water or black water, and there is water from various other domestic activities or grey water. 9. Energy saving lamp. Energy saving lamps have been widely applied. Energy saving lamps, or what are often called compact fluorescent lamps, are the latest technology to replace incandescent lamps. If the average lifespan of incandescent bulbs is 1,500 until 2,000 hours, CFLs have a lifespan of 1,500 hours. Under the lamp life saving that can be obtained reaches 18%. The light emitted by energy-saving lamp is also 1.5 times stronger than incandescent lamps, said Sujai, measurement lamp. Another advantage of CFLS is the ease of installation. Certain series of CFLS have integrated ballasts until there is needed to speed again to buy additional ballasts.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Riri Wulandari. I will explain about solution. Enjoy the video. Green energy, a term that describes what is considered environmentally friendly source of energy and power. Specifically, this term refers to energy sources that are renewable and do not pollute the environment. In addition to water, sunlight, and wind, that there is also energy that comes from living things, included in the latter category, often referred to as biomass, which is one example is used cooking oil. Wind generators. The basic working principle of a wind turbine is to convert mechanical energy from the wind into energy in the windmill. Then the rotation of the windmill is used to turn a generator, which will eventually produce electricity. This tool serves to change the low speed on the wheel into high rotation. Power plant. The function of water in an air power plant is to drive the wheel or turbine in the electric power generation circuit. The water-driven turbine is connected to a generator that produces electric. Solar cell. Solar panel can reduce PLN's electricity costs. Solar panels can help reduce electricity costs. Even so, electricity bills are always going up. Electricity bills can be reduced from the first day the solar panels are installed. Solar panels can help industry and businesses reduce the use of carbon. Green transport. Green transportation, or commonly referred to as green transport, is an environmentally friendly transportation device. Green transport is an effort used to create transport that produces little or no greenhouse gases. Solar cars. Solar car or solar power is a type of electric vehicle that uses solar energy as its energy source. Solar energy is captured by using solar cell panels, which are then used to drive an electric motor that function to turn the wheels. Train on magnet. A thermodynamic system may avoid relation to nature due to the application of a field, or because the system boundaries are in relative motion, or are maintained at different temperatures. This results into classes of non-equilibrium system, mechanical non-equilibrium system, and thermal non-equilibrium system. Water train. The water train is very good for environmentally friendly transportation because the train will not cause pollution, especially in you while in the water, but the kind of power might not exist now. Electric cars. Electric cars have several potential advantages over traditional internal combustion engines. The main thing is that electric cars do not produce motor fuel emission. In addition, this TV or car also reduce greenhouse gas emission because it does not require fossil fuel and the main driver. In the end, oil support from abroad was reduction because for some developed countries such as the United States and many European countries, raising oil prices could affect their economy. Next, recycling. Metal recycling is an effective way to overflow metal was used as drink cans, scrap metal, and other metal. Paper recycling is the reparation of paper that has been used and not used into new paper that can be reused. The use of paper was first carried out in Japan in 1030 due to instability in government management at that time. Plastic recycling is an effort to manage and use plastic so that it can be processed into goods that are beneficial to the surrounding and environment and have a selling flip. This action aims to reduce and overcome pollution and environmental damage caused by littering. Glass recycling is the process of recycling waste glass in other usable products. Glass was the rest from that can be transformed and seamless as a solid. Biodegradable rubbish. Compost is an organic fertilizer made by decomposing the remains of plant and animal with the help of living organisms. To make compost, raw materials are needed in the form of organic matter and decomposer. Decomposing organisms can be microorganisms or microorganisms. Next, use of renewable resources, sun, wind, heat of the air. Coal is an energy resource resulting from the decay and decomposition of land over millions of years. Because it has a slow rate of regeneration, coal is classified an irreversible natural resource. Gas. Natural gas is unrenewable natural resource that is often found together with oil. This is because natural gas also comes from fossil that from methane gas. Oil. Crude oil is the first example of a natural resource that cannot be used publicly anywhere. Crude oil comes from ancient fossil trapped in the bowel of the earth. After being metal oil is processed into various types of fuels such as gasoline, diesel to kerosene. Mineral natural resources include natural resources that cannot be used because mineral natural resources cannot be regenerated quickly, cannot be increased, and the amount of mineral natural resource will always decrease when used. Metals. Many materials that cannot be found include gold, aluminum, tin, and copper. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.